All right, let's get right into this one. It's a really powerful story about a writer who's staring his own death right in the face and somehow finds a new reason to keep going. It's this incredible journey from, total despair to finding a real purpose. And it all kicks off because of a death right next door.
So we're not going to start with some boring summary. No, we're jumping right in with the novel's first line. And wow, is it a gut punch. It just throws you headfirst into our narrator's world. And let me tell you, it's a world that kind of smells like old wine, failure, and, well, death.
Okay, so section 1. Right away, we see that our narrator, this 63-year-old writer named Hank, is in a really bad spot. He's got this crisis happening on two fronts. It's not just about the literal decay next door, it's about the decay of his own life's work too.
And what's so fascinating here is how Hank sees himself in this dead neighbor. Think about it. This neighbor, he did everything right, lived by the rules, and he dies completely alone, unnoticed. Hank, on the other hand, he's broken every rule in the book, lived this loud, chaotic life, but now he's terrified of ending up the exact same way, silent and forgotten. And that silent typewriter on his desk, man, that feels like a really bad sign.
You see, it's not just about dying. His crisis is creative too. For 3 solid weeks, he's just been staring at a blank page. Nothing. The only thing that seems to get him is the music of Brahms. It's like Brahms just gets failure. Hank feels like his entire reason for being, the writing he gave everything for, it might just be gone forever.
So as Hank's just spiraling down, he's desperately looking for some kind of meaning. And where does he go? The only other place he really knows besides his typewriter, the racetrack, which for him is kind of like a church for desperate people.
But here's the thing. He's not there looking for luck. Not at all. He's looking for desperation. He has this whole philosophy that he can see it in a horse's eyes, that raw animal instinct to survive. It's not about the odds or the numbers for him. It's about finding that one animal that's literally running for its life.
And believe it or not, this crazy idea actually works. Well, financially anyway. He wins big, a whole $1,100 on a long-shot horse called Bitter End. But he knows it doesn't fix anything. It's just money. He even tells his wife, Sara, it's not writing, It's just a Band-Aid on a much, much deeper wound.
And right there, that's the moment everything changes. By facing death, by leaning into that desperation, something just clicks. That experience that almost broke him, it becomes the key. He sits down and for the first time in weeks, he writes. Just 7 words to start, but it's a start. He's back, and he's writing with this raw, brutal honesty.
So that little spark turns into a full-blown fire. He writes a new novel, The Last Neighborhood, and he ends up going on a book tour. But what he doesn't know is that this tour is going to completely change how he sees, well, everything.
He's at a book signing, right? And this woman comes up to him and says that his writing, all his dark, painful stories, they literally saved her life. They gave her a reason to keep going. Now for Hank, who always thought of his writing as this selfish thing he did just for himself, this is just a bombshell. It completely floors him.
And this is where you really see the shift. His whole life, he's been writing about his own misery, his own screw-ups. But now, he's realizing that by putting all that darkness out there, he was accidentally creating light for other people. It was never just about him. His writing was a lifeline.
Okay, so now that he has this totally new perspective on his work, his personal life starts to change too. That old, hardened, cynical guy, he starts to soften. The walls start coming down.
And I mean, the change is huge. This is a guy who spent his life pushing people away, and suddenly, he's a dad at 65. By 70, he's literally crying over a homemade birthday card from his kid. His life stops being about the books he'll leave behind, and starts being about the time he has left.
Yeah, having his son Henry when he was 65, that was the big one. That changed everything. His wife Sara had been told she couldn't have kids, so this just felt like a miracle. And for Hank, a guy who ran from responsibility his whole life, it was terrifying for sure. But it was also the first thing that really truly connected him to the world. All right, so now we get to his final years. Hank gets diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. But here's the key difference. Unlike that neighbor from the beginning of the story, Hank is not just lying there waiting to die. Oh no, he knows exactly what he needs to do.
He remembers something a poet told him years ago, something cynical about how it all just ends and you're just waiting for the hearse. And yeah, those words are echoing in his head, but they mean something different now. He's not passively waiting. He is in an all-out race against that hearse, fighting for every single second he can get. So what's he doing with that time? He's not trying to write another great novel. No, his final act of writing, his real masterpiece, is a bunch of letters to his son Henry. It's a legacy of love, not literature. He's just boiling down a lifetime of painful lessons into these simple, powerful truths for his boy.
You can see here how his whole focus just flips 180 degrees. The public legacy, the books on the shelf, the fame, all that stuff. It just doesn't matter anymore. All that matters now is the private legacy he's leaving for the one person in the world who means everything.
You know, for his entire life, Hank was just haunted by one question. What's the point? What was the point of all the pain, the struggle, all the words he bled onto the page? And for most of his life, he didn't have an answer.
But in the end, he finally got it. The point wasn't the writing itself. The writing was just the tool. It was the boat he built to get through the storm, the way he connected with people, and how he finally learned to just embrace the beautiful, chaotic mess that is being alive.
And that really just leaves us with one big question to think about, doesn't it? Hank's story is a powerful reminder that maybe, just maybe, the meaning of our lives isn't in some big, grand legacy we leave behind for the world. Maybe it's found in the small, real ways we choose to live right here, right now.